A warm welcome to one and all. After a long back, we all are meeting through online mode, and right from now onwards, we are going to move into our third semester. And in this semester, we are going to study about the molecular endocrinology and reproductive endocrinology. Okay. So in that, first we are going to see about a brief history of discovery of hormones. So today we are going to see about a brief history of discovery of hormones. So what do you mean by endocrinology? As the title of our course says that molecular and reproductive endocrinology. So what do you mean by endocrinology? So endocrinology can be defined as the study of endocrine glands. Fine. So logy means study, endocrine means glands, and so both together. Endocrine, study of endocrine gland is called as endocrinology. Okay, it is defined. What do you mean? What it is going to give? What is the scope of this molecular endocrinology? If we are going to learn about a particular subject, then we should be very familiar with the scope of that particular subject. So if you are learning about the molecular endocrinology, you can be placed as a diagnostic evaluator, you can be placed as a physician trainers, and you can be placed as an endocrine physician, and moreover you have a very much and a very good scope towards abroad countries. Okay. So what is endocrine glands? A gland which is not having the duct system and which produce the secretion and which is secreted directly into the bloodstream is called as endocrine gland. Endocrine gland doesn't have the duct to carry their secretion. Okay. So what do you mean by hormones? Okay, it is secreting the hormones. Endocrine gland secretes the hormone. Fine. So how the hormones can be defined? Usually you will be giving a different definitions or different terms for that hormones. Chemical messenger, chemical substance. These are the things usually we use to define. So these chemical messengers are hormones. How it is derived? How the thing is derived? It is derived from the Greek word oremo. Oremo. Oremo means I excite or I arouse. What do you mean by I excite? Due to some things we are getting excited or we are aroused. So these hormones, when the hormones are secreted by a particular gland, our body is getting excited or we are aroused, and that is the meaning for that hormone. As we may call them, have to be carried from the organ where they are produced to the organs where they affect. Organ they are produced to the target organs. Which organ it is going to target? Okay, by means of the bloodstream, and the continually recurring physiological needs of the organism must determine their repeated production and circulation through the body. So what is that? The hormones will not be stored. The things we have to know about the hormone is what are the characteristic features. Hormones will be secreted or produced when there is a need. According to the need and necessity only the hormones will be produced by our body, and when the need is over, immediately it will be terminated. It will not be stored. Okay. So whenever the body or the target organ is in a need, the stimulatory endocrine gland will produce the hormone, and it will go and stimulate the target organ to secrete the particular substances. So based on the need only the hormones will be secreted. This is the definition given for hormones. So what do you mean by hormone? Hormone is the Greek word. It is derived from the Greek word oremo, means I excite or arouse. Okay. Now this semester fully we are going to learn or study about endocrinology. So who is the father of endocrinology? Who is called as the father of endocrinology? Yes, these two scientists. Can you able to see the picture of these two scientists? Yes, they are called as Ernst Henry Starling and Bayliss. William Bayliss. These are the two scientists, Ernst Henry Starling and William Bayliss. These two are called as the father of endocrinology. So what is their contribution towards the endocrinology? Why they are called as father of endocrinology? So how much they have contributed? Then only we can call them as father of endocrinology, right? So Starling, we can see about a short biography of Starling. Starling was born on 17th April 1866 and he was died on 2nd May 1927. He is an English physiologist and his father Henry Starling was a barrister. He served as a barrister in Bombay and Starling studied medicine at Guy's Hospital in London where he obtained his MB in 1889. Then in 1899 he moved to the University College where he worked as a professor of physiology. He worked as a physiology professor. He was very interested towards the physiology and his keen interest in the physiology only made him to identify and discover so many things in endocrinology. Until his death, he served as a professor of physiology in the University College, London. His main collaborator, along with whom we said that Starling and Bayliss. Who's that Bayliss? Bayliss is his brother-in-law. His collaborator Bayliss is his brother-in-law, and they both together collaborated to discover many things. So what are all the Starling's discovery? How many things he discovered? Starling is most famous for developing the Frank Starling law of heart. We know that law of heart is there, and how the energy of contraction, how it is working, is based on the length of the muscle fiber. This thing was quoted by Starling. And the second contribution is peristalsis. We know the peristaltic movement in the intestine. Okay, that peristaltic movement is identified or discovered by Bayliss in 1899, and he also identified Starling equation. Then he discovered distal convoluted tubule of the kidney. We know the proximal convoluted tubule and distal convoluted tubule in the nephron. Okay, and what is the function of the distal convoluted tubule? It helps to reabsorb the water and various electrolytes, and that concept was discovered by the Starling. Then the discovery of secretin. Now comes the main point. The first hormone discovered is secretin, and who discovered it? It was discovered by the Bayliss and Starling in 1902, and they termed the hormone, and they termed it as hormone in 1905. The first hormone identified or discovered was secretin, and that was named as hormone in 1905. Okay, so next, as we have seen about Starling's biodata, again we are going to see about the short history of Bayliss also. So William Bayliss, he is also an English physiologist. He gained undergraduation from London University. He graduated post-graduation, and he got doctorate in science in physiology from Wadham College, Oxford. Bayliss and Ernst Henry Starling discovered the peptide hormone secretin. As I said, they both together discovered the hormone secretin, and together they both together only discovered the peristaltic movement of the intestine also. They jointly delivered the Cronian lecture in 1904 and was awarded Royal Medal in 1911 and Copley Medal in 1919. These two were very prestigious award in the medical field. He was knighted for his contribution to medicine in 1922. Bayliss died in London in 1924. Fine. So what they discovered, how they discovered the secretin hormone. As I said in the beginning itself, we are going to see about the brief history of the discovery of hormones. Okay. So how they discovered the first hormone? We know now, we came to know that secretin is the first hormone discovered by Ernst Henry Starling and Bayliss. So how they discovered? So they did an experiment using dog. They did an experiment using dog. How they performed the experiment? Yes, by using the hydrochloric acid. Okay, they mixed the hydrochloric acid with the mud. They mixed these two in a mud and they injected this into the intestine of the dog. So when they injected, after 10 to 15 minutes, this hydrochloric acid secretion induced the cells of the duodenum to secrete another substance. So this hydrochloric acid induced the secretion of another substance from the walls of the duodenum, and that secretion was taken through the bloodstream and it reached the pancreas, where this substance induced the pancreas to secrete the digestive enzymes. Okay, so what they were amazed. Say this hydrochloric acid along with the food substances is creating a magic when these, that is semi-digested bolus along with the hydrochloric acid, they both together, when it is injected to the dog, okay, injected in the dog's intestine, denervated, the pancreas is denervated and it doesn't have any indication from the body to secrete. So what is happening now? So this substance, that is the bolus and the hydrochloric acid, is inducing the walls of the duodenum to secrete the substance, and that substance is transported through the bloodstream and it reaches the pancreas, denervated pancreas, and there it induces the pancreas to secrete the digestive enzymes. This made them amazing. What happened? How it is secreted? So something is secreted with the help of bolus as well as the hydrochloric acid. So they named that thing as secretin. As it is secreted, they termed initially as secretin. They don't know what is that. They don't know what is hormone. They don't know anything. Just a substance is secreted, and that substance is inducing the pancreas to secrete digestive enzymes. So that secretion is called as secretin. Later on in 1905, based on many other experiments and other things, they termed it as hormone. That is oramo from the Greek word. It is exciting or it is arousing. So based on that, they termed it as hormone. Okay. So very nice experiments, no? How wonderfully they have thought and they have created this, discovered this. So this is the famous experiment. They showed that dilute hydrochloric acid mixed with partially digested food. Partially digested food is called as bolus. Fully digested is called as chyme. And that thing activates the chemical substance in the epithelial cells of the duodenum. Okay. So that in turn go and stimulates the pancreas. So this is the they both together observed the duodenal extract causing secretion from denervated pancreas. So this is the brief history how the hormone is discovered, how the hormone started to evolve. Okay, later on they identified many hormones that we will be seeing in the upcoming classes. And thank you for your brief and patient listening. Now the session is open for discussion and queries. If you are having any queries, you can ask me, or you can post the queries to my mail also. Okay, so in the next video we'll see about next topic. Thank you once again.